This is NDTV. And you're watching NDTV Hindu.
EVK's Elangovan at it again, says the Congress should fly solo in the upcoming elections even as the TNCC president calls for restraint.
I personally feel that Congress should contest on its own.
If anybody goes beyond and not accepting the view of the Congress High Command, they have no business in the Congress.
EVK's Elangovan crosses the Lakshman Rekha yet again, reiterates that DMK is surviving at the mercy of the Congress. The DMK hits back.
சொல்லக்கூடிய அளவுக்கு வளர்ந்திருக்கிறீர்களே யாரால் நாங்கள் போட்ட பிச்சையின் காரணமாக.
Before commenting, he should verify the facts and speak.
And after that outburst from EVK's Elangovan, DMK takes swift action, suspends the Thoothukudi partyman who spoke against Rahul Gandhi. As the number of relationship-based crimes increase, the Chennai police asked to keep track of these cases. Here comes another one-way in the city. 4 roads in Tinaga converted to one-way routes now to ease traffic.
All the 4 roads will be made one-way in the clockwise direction. So it will become like a single roundana.
Puducherry witnesses an all-India premiere of the Tamil epic Silapadikaram in French.
Je suis la belle vie de ma Saturne. Oh, Patrick Samoul!
Well, those are the top stories tonight, but also look at the other stories making national headlines. Massive rescue operations underway in the flash flood hit Leh, plane sent for stranded tourists. Tentative peace in the valley after curfew is lifted, though temporarily for the first time in 9 days. As efforts are on to clean up the oil spill, Mumbai port has been closed as the ship grounded in yesterday's collision is capsizing. Meet India's new star and ace shooter Tejaswini Samant becomes first Indian woman shooter to clinch a gold at the World Championships. And ahead of their wedding, Shashi Tharoor and fiancée Sunanda Pushkar make that trip to the holy shrines. Well, at a top story at 10 tonight, EVK's Elangovan says that the Congress should fight the elections on its own next year. Speaking exclusively to NDTV Hindu just a short while ago, the former TNCC president brings back his wishes for years to fight elections solo in the state. However, his timing has raised eyebrows, with the DMK and Congress locking horns over his recent statements.
I personally feel that Congress should contest on its own and win all the 234 seats.
We'll call it high drama or a bitter battle. The war of words between EVK's Elangovan and the DMK seems to be getting bitter by the day. EVK's Elangovan remarks against the DMK have been making headlines in the recent weeks, forcing his party high command to get into damage control. But the former TNCC chief today once again defied his party orders. Our political reporter Shabir Ahmed with the latest round of battle between Elangovan and the DMK.
If anybody goes beyond and not accepting the view of the Congress High Command, they have no business in the Congress.
The warning from Thangabalu seems to mean nothing to his colleague EVK's Elangovan. He once again went ahead with his expressions of dislike. Elangovan's latest comments has angered the main ally, the DMK.
அவரை பற்றியும் அவருடைய மகளை பற்றியும் அவருடைய கணவனை பற்றியும் கேவலமாக மூக்கா அழகிரி கலந்து கொடுக்கின்ற கூட்டத்திலே திராவிட முன்னேற்ற கழகத்தின் முக்கிய தலைவர் ஒருவர் பேசுகின்றார் என்று சொன்னால் என்ன அர்த்தம் என்று சொல்லக்கூடிய அளவுக்கு வளர்ந்திருக்கிறீர்களே யாரால் நாங்கள் போட்ட பிச்சையின் காரணமாக.
Only a few days ago, the DMK leadership warned that Elangovan's attitude will not help the political ties between the two sides. The DMK feels he has been ill-advised.
Before commenting, he should verify the facts and speak. I think he is being ill-advised by his friends or by his informers.
But why Congress leader EVK Elangovan is on a warpath against the DMK ahead of the 2011 assembly elections? That's the billion-dollar question doing rounds in Tamil Nadu's political circles. But what remains to be seen is that how soon the Congress High Command will intervene to resolve the standoff. In Chennai, Shabir Ahmed for NDTV Hindu.
Meanwhile, the DMK partyman who is supposed to have urged Mr. EVK Ilangovan to lash out like that at the DMK, a speaker from Thoothukudi, has now been suspended by the DMK for his remarks against Rahul Gandhi and Rajiv Gandhi. In fact, the speaker from Thoothukudi, Vagei Muthuaragan, had allegedly made these remarks at a rally on July 31st, and after EVK Ilangovan's outburst, the DMK has now taken swift action against the partyman. On the other hand, reacting to PMK's Dr. Ramdas's hints at floating a separate alliance, the DMK has asked the PMK to be patient. The ruling party has made it clear that PMK has to wait till the next elections, and since the elections are around the corner, the decision will be made soon. In fact, last evening in Madurai, Dr. Ramdas had spoken about his ongoing talks with the DMK and had hinted that if these talks did not yield any results, he might float his own alliance of social justice, but the DMK wants him to wait.
Our stand is very clear. I don't want to tell about his views, but our stand is very clear.
What is your?
It was made, it was made sometime 6 months back. We have very clearly stated that we will wait for the next elections to come. The elections are around the corner. In 9 months, elections are coming. Then we will decide.
And the queen bee of Tamil Nadu politics, AIADMK Chief Ms. Jayalalitha, now wants action to be taken against the Tirunelveli DMK MLA who allegedly beat up the Vice Chancellor and Physical Training Director of the Anna University in Tirunelveli. Jayalalitha alleges that this happened during the university's convocation, where the Deputy Chief Minister Stalin was also present. Amma has demanded legal action against the MLA Malai Raja for his attack on the Vice Chancellor. Another case of dishonor killing in the state, and this time in Tirunelveli district, a farmer allegedly hacked his daughter to death for attempting to run away with her lover. He is also said to have killed his wife, who tried to intervene to save her daughter. Both his wife and daughter died on the spot. The farmer later surrendered to the police and has now been arrested. The father is said to have had an argument with the 21-year-old daughter and disapproved of her relationship with her lover, who reportedly belonged to another community. Now, speaking of such crimes of passion, in recent times, murders directly related to illicit relationship between men and women have become very, very frequent. The police have told the Crime Records Bureau, in fact, to start a new category to keep tracks of such murders. Our crime reporter Salim looks at a string of some recent NV killings in Chennai.
A few days before this veiled woman was brought to this court hall in a murder case, she was deployed in the same area to prevent crimes. The court ordered the young policewoman to be jailed for killing a boyfriend who objected to a relationship with another man. The woman also has a husband. In this case, in which a 3.5-year-old boy was the victim, the motive again was illicit relationship. The killer, a 27-year-old woman, strangled the child to death to punish his father after a secret relationship with him did not go the way she wanted. She packed the boy's remains in a suitcase and left it on a bus. Last month, a female school teacher was killed by a friend-turned-lover in Thondayarpet when he found her with another man. Investigators found that the woman had a long list of boyfriends. 3 murders in Chennai over illicit relationships took place in just 20 days. The number of NV killings linked to illicit relationships had surprised even the police, forcing them to think of starting a separate category in their records for such murders. Most of these murders were due to a sudden provocation for which the police say they don't have any control. Instead, they leave it in the hands of people who are into illicit intimacy to refrain before they realize that it's too late. In Chennai, Salim for NDTV Hindu.
Moving on, it's the discount season and the shopping hub of Chennai city is thronged by huge numbers. So quite obviously, there is this mundane problem of parking and those traffic snarls. But in an attempt to ease traffic congestion, 4 busy roads in T Nagar have been converted into one-way routes. Our reporter Pratiksha gets you more.
At 2 p.m. on a weekend, this is the scene on South Usman Road that connects with Chennai shopping hub T Nagar. To solve the problem of congestion like this, 4 roads in T Nagar have been converted into one-way routes.
4 roads, Usman Road, Basham Road, Nageshwar Park, Nageshwar Road and Prakasham Road. All the 4 roads will be made one way in the clockwise direction. So it will become like a single roundana. So everybody will have to go around it. That is the new one-way system.
Any visitor to T Nagar area knows finding a parking space for the vehicle is not easy. And from Monday, it's going to be a challenge. Bashyam and Prakasam roads will also become no parking zones. Now parking will be allowed only on GN Chetty Road. Police believe commuters will accept the changes, but police also say it is an experiment that will be reviewed after a month. In Chennai with Pratiksha Ramkumar, Mithila, NDTV Hindu.
Well, the Chennai airport, one of India's busiest airports, may be having a serious risk to the planes flying in and out. This is because the airport is now increasingly becoming notorious for bird hits. Bertella and Pir Mohammed have this report.
Last week, an Air India flight from Mumbai that was about to start its descent for landing in Chennai was told by the air traffic controllers to keep flying. The reason? There were birds on the runway. Though this is not an unusual situation, it is said to be happening quite often in Chennai.
If it hits an engine, it gets into the engine, it will spoil the blades. Or even sometimes it may result in a flame out of the engine. Flame out means the aircraft, that engine is off. It can also hit the wings or fuselage and create a dent in this. With the result, the performance of the aircraft may deteriorate.
Chennai is a modern airport with a large volume of traffic and travelers, but does not have equipment that keeps bird away from the runway. The airport still relies on manual methods. But why do birds get there in the first place? That's because the nearby restaurants and food stalls dump waste on the roads near the airport.
The government have notified with the aircraft rules 1937 by rule number 91 that there cannot be any thrown garbage or slaying of animals or carcasses thrown within a radius of 10 kilometers of the airport.
Dumping food near airports is a punishable offence, but lack of awareness among owners of restaurants and food stalls is believed to be the reason. If that's the case, it needs to be urgently addressed for a happy landing in Chennai. With inputs from Pir Mohammed, Bertila, NDTV Hindu.
Well, time to take a short break, but on the other side, all the national news and also Kannagi came to life in Puducherry and burnt Madurai again, but this time she did it in French. Stay tuned.